In a couple of seconds, we're going to be joined by someone who is headlining a card on Sunday, this Sunday, July 20th. So we've been talking about July 19th, which is a crazy, crazy day with 6 massive cards. But on Sunday, the eyes of the combat sports world will be on the UBS Arena, TNA Slammiversary. They're saying it's the biggest show in TNA history. They just released some new seats for that one, some new tickets. So if you're in the area, it sounds like it's going to be an absolute banger. The main event is Trick Williams, the TNA champion, who, of course, is an NXT star. They've had this partnership with NXT. And Joe Hendry, the former TNA champion, and the pride of Puerto Rico and the Boogie Down Bronx, Mike Santana. Mike Santana is a tremendous story. 34 years young, 4-time tag team champion with Ortiz, the team LAX, has won the GFW, HOG, and various other indie tag team titles. But this is really like his first run as a single star, and he's crushing it. He's absolutely crushing it. And he's a very likable guy with a tremendous backstory as well. Had a great run in AEW. He was there from the very start, 2019 to about 2024. He was a part of the inner circle with Chris Jericho, but he's someone who has been very open and honest about his trials and tribulations, about his relationship with his daughter, about losing his father in 2020, about his own battles with demons, with sobriety. He is now sober for over a year, and it seems like the people are really getting behind him. The wrestling fans are really getting behind him. The New York City wrestling team getting behind him as well. So this is a tremendous story, and I'm very excited to have him in studio. Without further ado, let us say hello to the pride of Puerto Rico and the Boogie Down Bronx. They call him the Standard. The one and only Mike Santana is here. Hello, Mike.
Yo.
How are you, my man?
How you doing?
All good?
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Nice
Thank
to
you so
meet
much. Please have a
Absolutely.
seat. Big week for you.
Yes, sir.
Were you just in Orlando?
This morning, well, I flew in this morning.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah,
You were
man.
just on CW last night.
Yeah, man.
NXT. Please come closer to the microphone if you
Yep.
don't mind. Are you tired?
I'm ready to go.
Please talk into the microphone. There it is.
This is what we do.
This is
I'm
what
ready.
I
I'm
saw
ready to go.
You drop in the schedule that you have this week.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
crazy schedule.
Nonstop.
You
I've been at it. So before I did 10 days in Puerto Rico. Took a little vacation with my daughter,
Ariana.
Ariana.
Shout out.
Yep. And then before that, it was nonstop. I took those 10 days nonstop with her. And then I flew straight from Puerto Rico, straight back to NXT, and it's been nonstop.
This is everything you dreamed of.
Let's go.
This is what you wanted.
Yes, sir.
You want the ball.
Absolutely.
And now you get to headline what they're saying is the biggest show in TNA history, UBS Arena, massive arena, Long
Yep.
Island. Essentially, you're back. Yeah, I know you're from the Bronx, but your backyard. You're the hometown guy.
Yep.
And it's a triple threat match. There it is, the poster right there. Joe Hendry, yourself, Trick Williams.
Insane, man.
What are the vibes?
Insane.
What are you feeling?
Honestly, man, I've still been in the process of taking everything in, right? I like to say that I try my best every day to reflect on everything, especially with everything I've been through the last couple of years in my personal life and in my career. You know, I always try to make it my business to sit and reflect and take everything in, and I think I'm in that process now. And especially since I've been so nonstop, like I'm on go, you know. And but ultimately, like overall, this is a huge moment for me, huge moment for TNA wrestling, and I'm excited to be a part of it. You know, I'm excited to be in the position that I'm in and having the company trust me the way they are. And yeah, man, I'm ready to go.
You've been at this about like 17 or so years, right?
17 years.
Was there a point, maybe not too recently, where you thought this stuff would never happen? That maybe you had squandered it, maybe you wouldn't live up to whatever, realization that you wanted to live up to. That
when I was in rehab, yeah, that was
those thoughts were going through your mind.
100%.
You felt like you had dropped the ball.
I felt like I like almost ruined my life, you know.
So what happened? So if you don't mind, I know you've talked about this a little bit, so I'm sorry for bringing it up.
No worries. Let's go.
Your father passes away in 2020, and I'm sorry to hear that. I know you had an incredible relationship with him.
Absolutely.
He took you to your first wrestling show at MSG, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Your
sir.
guy was Bret Hart.
Oh yes, he was.
That's my guy
Yo,
right there. Yo,
so the whole time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I've seen plenty of your interviews,
Thank you.
and the whole time,
That's my dog. That's my guy.
this is the guy.
That's my favorite athlete. As a kid, that was my guy. There he is over there.
Amazing.
When I was young and my mom would take me to the doctor's office, they would say, close your eyes when I was getting a shot. I was so nervous. She would say, think of something that makes you happy. And I would think of him winning the belt. That's how much he means to me. So when I heard that
That's amazing.
you loved him as well,
Yeah.
I knew we had a connection there.
Yep.
But your father passes away and you go down a dark path. Did you have any of those demons before that? Or was it because you were trying to cope with it?
So I struggled for a long time. Like I had a very tough childhood and upbringing, and so a lot of the things that I went through as a kid, I never really dealt with. You know, because I was taught to you go through it, keep it pushing. You know, I wasn't.
Like what kind of stuff were you dealing with?
As far as a kid, a lot of abuse.
Oh, wow.
A lot of you know, drugs were prevalent in my home.
Did you partake?
As a kid, no.
Okay.
No. It was just so my mom's ex-husband, he was a drug addict and he lived at home with us. So there was a lot of that going on and a lot of abuse taking place. And also, you know, even before that, like, you know, unfortunately, drugs and alcohol is something that runs in my family. And it's something that I've dealt with since I was very young. So dealing with the effects of that, right? Having guardians who, you know, are essentially drug addicts. So dealing with a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, I wouldn't say like I mean, I started smoking as a teenager, you know, the normal teenager stuff or whatever. But like a lot of the issues and stuff that I went through, I wasn't taught how to deal with. So essentially, I, you know, got into trouble in the street. You know, got into things with a bunch of people and stuff like that because I did anything not to be home. You know, my home life was just all over the place. So what happens? Poor kid from the street, you try to find love and family in the street, and that's what happened. But then, yeah, it was whatever. But then after my dad passed away, that because everything that I went through before then that I never dealt with, him passing away was like the soda bottle finally like burst. And it was
you were
like,
super close at that point. You had an up and down relationship, but at that point you were like the best of friends.
Yeah. So my dad struggled with addiction while I was growing up. And as a kid, I didn't really understand addiction much, right? So my dad, he struggled. He was also blind, so he dealt with depression a lot. So I didn't, as a kid, you don't understand these things, right? So in my head, I'm like, why is this dude such an asshole sometimes, you know? But thankfully, as I got older and I started experiencing my own depression and anxiety and struggles with certain things, I started to understand him a little more. And then finally, when I was older, after I had my daughter, I finally built up the courage to sit him down and ask him and have a real serious heart-to-heart talk. And that was it. That was the moment that he wanted me to understand him. And
what did you ask him?
Just why, you know, why, like, I just wanted to understand him, you know. And one of the main things that he told me that affected him deeply, not just his blindness, not just him not being able to make his dreams come true. He struggled a lot with, he felt like he couldn't be the father that he wanted to be. And that ate him up, you know. And one thing that I'm glad that I told him was his presence was the greatest present that he could have ever given me. And yeah, from there it was amazing. That was like my big brother, my dad, like best friend. He was my biggest cheerleader. And he'd be tripping at all this shit.
Oh, yeah. I can't imagine. You headlining at UBS? Is he on your mind a lot this week? Yeah, especially in New York. And I'm sorry for the emotion. Do you want Kleenex? You good? Um, and I'm sorry, man. I know how much you're close to him, and you had a great post about um, being at MSG and the things that he said to you about taking you to see. I think this is what it was. What a great line this is. That day he pulled me aside and said, "It's crazy how all those years ago I brought you to see all your favorite wrestlers, and here I am today coming to see my favorite wrestler."
That shit lives with me.
Yeah, no, I know, man. I know for sure. And so when it was just unexpected, right? New Year's Eve or so,
Yeah,
2020.
I woke up. I was in Jacksonville for AEW,
Yeah.
and woke up New Year's Day, got to the arena, and got the call.
Damn.
Yeah, he was in my house the week before Christmas Day. We were all together.
Just sudden.
It was. He had health issues
Okay.
that he didn't really talk about, or that nobody really knew. And my dad was a stubborn human being, to put it lightly. His thing was he didn't want to be a burden on anyone, so he kept a lot of things to himself.
Okay.
And things caught up to him. And
So is that when you start to self-medicate?
oh, that was it. Yeah, that was because again, like everything that I went through in the past, it came to the surface. And losing him, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And then after that, like with things at work and things at home, and it was just a whirlwind of multiple things, you know.
How long before you go to rehab? Like how long does this?
Oh man, he died in 2020. I went to rehab in 23.
Oh wow. So it was 3 years like this. What kind of a person are you in those 3 years?
I'm not the person that I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah. As an addict, you know, when we're in active addiction, we're trying to fill a hole, you know. And like I never did drugs and alcohol to have fun. Like it wasn't fun at all. I did it because I didn't want to feel anything, you know. And yeah, like just being who I am today and looking back at that person, I feel bad for that person. But I ultimately needed to be that person.
Why?
To get to where I am today. And to truly appreciate who I am today. I always say gutter to glory. You have to walk through the fire sometimes. And that was like I needed rock bottom. Like thinking about it now and being where I am today, like because ultimately that was the foundation that I started to build upon, you know.
What was rock bottom?
Rock bottom was it was getting that letter from my daughter.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Where she said she just wants her dad to stop. Did you know that? Did you know that she was feeling this way, or that did you even know that she knew that something was wrong? No.
No.
Wow.
I you know, there was a lot of signs because, you know, I've said this before. I wouldn't come home for days, you know. And that's just not like me. I was always very present and always took her to school in the morning, always picked her up, always, you know. And once that started happening, she was like, "Whoa, you know, what the hell is going on?" And but also at the same time, it's like, you know, when you're an addict, you're selfish. You're not thinking about who you're hurting outside, right? You just think you're hurting yourself. And that was like a huge eye opener, you know, getting that letter from her. And then my grandmother wrote me a letter that she sent me. And yeah, that was my rock bottom. That was like the same thing that I went through as a kid. I was on the path of giving that to my daughter, and I promised And I swore that I would never do that. And the fact that like I was doing that it tore me up, you know.
There she is, your beautiful daughter. I love the post that you had about the time that you spent in LA with her, the daddy-daughter trip, about all the things that you guys did together. I have a daughter myself, so much respect to you. How long were you in rehab for?
30 days.
How did you explain that to her?
That was also one of the hardest days of my life. Because I sat her down and her mom and I were like, because like we've always made it a point to make her feel a part of whatever conversation we were having, you know. And I've always spoken to her like a human being, not like a child, you know. And you know, I sat her down and I told her, Daddy is sick, and I have to go away to see some doctors that are gonna make Daddy better. And I promise you that when Daddy comes back, he's gonna be better. And her mom told me that when I left, her biggest concern was, am I going to have food? Am I going to have a bed to sleep in?
Damn.
Yeah.
Were you able to interact with her during that time?
I called her one time.
Okay.
But I didn't. They allowed visits after when you're halfway through.
Okay.
But I could not allow them to see me there.
Right.
You know, so I just needed to focus on myself, get myself better, and yeah.
Do you decide after the 30 days to leave, or do they say that?
No, like it was a 30-day program.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you been sober since then?
881 days.
Damn. Congrats.
Thank you.
How hard was it in rehab? Hardest thing you've ever done? Now at this time you're an AEW star.
Yeah.
TNA
No one
star.
knew anything.
No one knew.
Not one person.
Not even the company.
Nobody.
What did you tell them?
I was away injured.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I disappeared from social media. I disappeared from everything. No one knew. Only 3 people in my family knew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you tell them when you came back?
When I came back, I did. Yeah.
And
And the reaction was just like, why didn't you reach out? Why didn't
why didn't you tell them?
It was my problem to deal with.
Maybe they could have helped. You didn't want it.
No.
Okay.
It wasn't even a pride thing. It was more of again, this is my problem. It's my job to deal with it, you know. And
So what month is that, if you remember?
February 16th, I went in.
February 16th of 23?
Yep.
February 16th of 23, 2.5 years later, you're headlining UBS. That probably felt a million miles away in that point, right?
100%.
And going back to the initial question, that's when you probably think you're squandering all of this.
Mm-hmm. And then, you know, when I got out and I finally got home, and it was go time, because my daughter's mom sat me down and she really gave me like a real eye opener. She was like, yo, you're a poor Puerto Rican kid from the projects who a lot of your friends are not alive today. Look at what you've been able to do. Look at what you've been able to accomplish. And you're going to piss it all away, or you're going to be great. And I refuse. I got a little girl that looks up to me. And that was all I needed.
That was the turning point.
Oh, it was a wrap. Yeah. And I never looked back.
Wow. Yeah. Ultimately, why did you decide to leave AEW?
I'm the type of person that I need constant growth in my life, and especially in this line of any line of work, right? If you're not growing, then what are we doing? Right. And ultimately, that was the ultimate case. I was just a lot of unhappiness, a lot of things that I just wasn't about, and ultimately, business is business, right? And I'm a brand, the same way that they're a brand, And I was like, I need to take care of my brand and I need to continue growing because this wrestling thing, this is my life. I like I've dedicated everything to this, you know. So I'm also not the type of person that I could just sit and collect a paycheck. That's just not me. Never has been. So it was just about that time, and there was no heat. There was no hard feelings. There was, you know, it is what it is. That's the wrestling business. People come, people go, right? And I looked at it as like I need to do what's best for me and my career and my life and my sanity.
Yeah.
And I did exactly that. Was I worried? Was there fear and stuff? Yeah, of course. I'm leaving a guaranteed paycheck of a lot of money. I have a family. But me having done the work on myself, I knew the work that I was willing to put in to get to where I wanted to be. And look, I'm in the main event at UBS, right?
Did they try to keep you?
So I had asked for my release multiple times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When I came back and like I had the short feud and match with my ex-partner, and then after that, like they stopped bringing me to TV. So I was like, yo, just get me out of here. I'm good. You know, like let's just whatever. And like I asked maybe like 2 or 3 times, and then finally, you know, they granted me my release, and I was like, thank you.
So you were in TNA for many years, then you go to AEW. You were there from the inception, 5 or so years. The natural step would seem to be you try to go to WWE.
Yeah.
But you went back to TNA.
Yeah.
Why did you go back? And I've heard you say like, this is where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And that's a nice thing to say, but like, why?
I wanted to be a part, like, so I've always prided myself of keeping my ear to the ground no matter what, right? This is my career. So I've always paid attention to what TNA was doing while I was away, and they were doing great things, you know. I'm very good, close friends with Josh Alexander, so I would talk to him a lot while I was at AEW and get a lot of, you know, stuff from him and see how things were going. And also, like, I've had such a great relationship with everyone at TNA, and I wanted to be a part of that growth, you know what I mean? And I knew that they were also going to give me the opportunities to grow. And ultimately, that's what more can you ask for, right? And if they're going to give me the opportunities, now I need to do my part in showing that I, you know, could take the ball and go with it. And thankfully, up to this point, I've been able to do that.
Was there like a difference, a palpable difference between this era and the one where you left? It's because
100%.
It felt to me, correct me, you were there. I said this to Carlos Silva last week. Like I was buying the TNA pay-per-views when they were $9.99 on Wednesdays from the Nashville Fairgrounds. You know, like back in like 02, 03, right? The NWA belt. So I've been watching and trying to support for all those years, and it felt like once it went to Impact Wrestling and all this, like it felt like it was like almost not quite 6 feet under, but like 5 feet.
It was
under.
close.
You know what I mean?
The
total afterthought in the wrestling business. There was WWE, AEW, New Japan was doing their thing, all these other indies. And then for some reason, it feels like as of late, so when you got there, were you starting to sense that they were 100%. Turning the corner?
Yeah. So I for me, those Vegas tapings that happened, the pay-per-view, and then when Nick Nemeth showed up, that was like, it was like a match was lit, you know? And I remember watching, and I was like, oh, man, just the excitement, right? Also, I don't know if you saw that package video that they did where Frankie comes out of the water with a box, right? Yeah. Man, when I saw that, I was ready to run through a wall for sure. And I just like it was so well done and creative. And it was like, if you're not rooting for TNA after watching that, come on. And then they delivered after that. And then, so that was January. I came back in April.
January of 04.
No. Of what? 24.
24.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah. So that happened in January. I came back in April. So shortly after.
Yeah.
So like,
I was worried. I'm a big Scott D'Amore fan.
Yeah.
He actually writes for the website on crown.com.
Yeah.
I was worried when they parted ways with him. Had he left already by the time you came back?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
but
It
you
was
were
like
with
a
him.
very short time.
You were with him back in the day.
Yes, I was.
So I was like, man, this guy is doing something. I felt like he was somewhat responsible or a part of the thing. And so I was worried that like all the good vibes were going to come.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people were. And Scott's a great guy. Like I've had a relationship with Scott for a long time. He was there when I first got to TNA, and we developed a great relationship, and you know, we hit each other up from time to time, and but yeah, a lot of people thought that it was just gonna die out, you know, and I honestly I give it up to the locker room because they had put in so much work and so much dedication that nobody was going to allow that to happen. Aside from, you know, behind the cameras and stuff like that, but that locker room is like, they bleed TNA. And over their dead body was they're going to allow anything like that to happen. So hats off to everybody. But yeah, it's been great. It's a huge difference. Going back to that, it's a huge difference. We came in and it was like during a very low point, and but to see where it's at now, man, from that is insane.
The WWE partnership is surreal too.
100%.
Because like this never happened, right? The fact that Trick has your title and he's on their TV and you're on their TV and then they're on your TV, it's wild. I had Matt and Jeff in a couple weeks ago, and I asked Matt about this, and I said, "Why do you think this? Why is WWE doing this?" And he's like, "Let's just be real. Like, they're trying to hurt AEW. They're trying to prop up TNA and help TNA get better to hurt AEW." Do you believe that, or do you think there's another reason?
I wouldn't say that I believe that, but again, like I feel like partnerships help everyone. I feel like it's everyone wins. You know, the wrestlers, the fans. I feel like right now with the TNA and NXT stuff, like TNA is getting a whole lot more exposure with dealing with WWE, and a lot of the NXT dudes coming over to TNA are getting exposure, getting more experience working with more experienced guys. So everybody's winning, right? For me personally, like I don't even look at stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm always in the mode of like, let's just work, put out the very best product that we could. Screw everything else, man. All the other bullshit doesn't even matter.
How are you received backstage at NXT?
It's been great.
Like they consider you one of their own. It's not like you're the TNA guy and you go over there.
No, also there's a lot of people at WWE and that NXT that I have worked with before in the past, and like thankfully I've been around a while, so like going there was just seeing a bunch of familiar faces, you know, and it was they were very welcoming, very hospitable, and like the locker rooms, as you know, locker rooms are very sacred grounds and very protected, and the fact that they welcome me into that locker room, and you know, I sit with the boys. And
was it weird for you at first?
No.
That you were at a WWE show and not part of the company, so to speak? No, not at all.
No.
If
I've earned this.
Yeah.
Like I've worked for this. You know.
Everyone wants to at some point be with WWE. Like, you know, if you're in this business. So did it feel like you had made it, so to speak? How did you process that?
Yeah, like honestly, going into it at first, when I first showed up to Battleground and I had that initial like interview or whatever, it was like I was going in with it, honestly, another day at the office.
Okay.
Like I'm here to work, you know. Was there excitement? Was there? Of course. Like who wouldn't be? But I'm here to do work. I'm here to represent myself, represent my brand, and that was my mindset. And then afterwards, like, you know, going to NXT and all this stuff, I was like, man, like, I worked for TNA, AEW, and WWE.
Yeah.
You know? So that was a huge accomplishment for me, and it was pretty cool. And, but yeah, otherwise, like, it's great, and I love it, and I love what I'm doing, and I appreciate what I'm doing, but, like, I'm working, you know?
I love how proud you are of TNA. Like, you say you guys bleed TNA, all that stuff. The fact that an NXT guy has your belt.
Mm-hmm.
How does that sit with you?
Doesn't sit right at all. Yeah. Man, like, I got to give Trick his due, right? He's paid his dues. He's busted his ass over at NXT and stuff. He's had some great moments. He's a great worker. But I don't think he truly understands or appreciates like the weight that's been put on that belt and what that belt truly like represents and means, right? I said it at Great American Bash. I feel like he takes it for granted and is more of like a chip to add to his ego. And there's a lot of guys like myself and like a lot of guys in that locker room that belt, like a lot of people have busted their ass for that title, you know. And yeah, it doesn't sit right with me at all.
Also, not for nothing, I think one of the nicer belts
Yeah,
in the game.
it's a beautiful belt.
Like the way it's evolved to the point that it's at now, it's beautiful. What do you think of Joe Hendry? What a great story, I think.
Yeah.
And seeing him at WrestleMania was incredible. Royal Rumble. Is there any part of you that's like, I want that? I want the WrestleMania spot. Why is it always him?
Of course, I don't ever look at it as why not me. Everything happens when it's meant to, and I know that I'm on the path and I'm putting in the work to get to that point. I respect Joe. I respect how he's represented the brand, how the work that he's done. But for me personally, like, I'm a worker's worker, man. Like, I I didn't have a catchy song to get popular. I didn't have a big machine behind me to get popular. I got popular by what I do in that ring. And I feel like my rise and where I'm at today is really grassroots and from the mud, you know what I mean? And I think people see that authenticity that I bring, you know, and that's what separates me from anybody.
Are you a boxing fan?
Somewhat. Like
I
when
was just at MSG on Friday, Amanda Serrano.
Oh, she's one of the homies.
Yo, it was so loud.
Yeah.
It was so loud. It felt like we were in San Juan.
You're damn right.
With the freaking flags and whatnot. Unfortunately, she didn't win. But, like, I don't know if you saw the walkout. She walked out, Bad Bunny, and, New York. And she had this woman rap song. I don't remember the name. What is it again?
Evie Queen?
Tina Tasha.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Come out, walk. My ears were ringing. And so I wonder what the pop is going to be like on Sunday.
Listen, we're loud and proud for a reason.
Are there going to be a lot of Boricuas there?
We in New York.
Hope so.
You're definitely right. Yes. You're definitely right, man. And I'm excited, man. Like again, this is a huge moment, and I carry my city and my culture on my back, man. I've made that a point like my entire career. So I know they're coming out for sure.
What an incredible story. Thank you so much for coming in,
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
And sorry for making you cry, but thank you for wearing your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah.
It makes us emotionally invested in you and wanting to root for you. So I wish you nothing but the best. Much love and respect to you, and good luck on Sunday. It's Slammiversary. They're calling it the biggest show in TNA history. They've just, I think, released more tickets, right?
Yeah. They opened up more sections, more tickets. It's going to be the biggest show in TNA.
Love it. We'll be watching. There it is, Joe Hendry versus Trick Williams, the current TNA champ versus the pride of New York and Puerto Rico, Mike Santana. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with Manny Pacquiao. Do not go anywhere.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.